I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. It's your boy Hans Ludor here with my main gentleman, my compadre amigos, Evan Butler Sands. How you doing, Evan?
It's a great evening to have a great evening. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Also, my boy Lou. What it do, Lou? How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, feeling great, man. Let's get it cracking.
Awesome. Love to hear it. All right, guys, we have a great show in store for you today. And we're going to start off with a topic that's near and dear to my heart. So a little backstory, just a little quick. Me and my gentleman went down, had a good time in Tampa, Florida. We did a prayer walk. Evan's beautiful daughter was dedicated to the Lord, and we got some balling. And during said ball, one of us, not going to say who, sustained an injury, which leads us to our first segment called the ambulance, because I need it.
Yo, what was it? Was it Beyonce say? Ring the alarm! Ring the alarm!
I need it. I need it.
Father Time was catching up to you, bro.
I am laboring still, but we're here. You got something to say? Go ahead, man. I feel it in your spirit, man.
I didn't want to be the one to put you out, but much like the injuries we're about to get into talking about, way too early in the basketball experience of this season for those injuries to have taken place. That's the way I would describe this past weekend as well. But continue, my brother.
Listen, man. I've been laboring with this injury for a while now. It's a reoccurring injury. All right. Leave my injury status report alone. I don't update it as I should. All right. Relax. Don't find me. All right. No, Joel. Relax.
No, Joel.
But y'all, call the ambulance, man. This early in the season, we got a couple injuries happening. We have, of course, Chris Middleton. We have Chet. We had Dame on concussion. There's so many other injuries happening right now. So this, to me, brings up what level of concern do you have for these injuries, or which injury is the most concerning to you guys? I'll start off with you, Ev. Which injury? I know there's more for me to list. Tyrese Maxey. There's so much more. I can't list all of them, but I know it's early. But which one is giving you the most concern right now?
I hate to be obvious, but I have to go with the obvious one for me, and it's Ja Morant's hip injury. To hear him come out as week to week after coming out strong to start the season, I picked Memphis as one of the top teams in the West, and to have his injury, not only his, but Desmond Bane's oblique injury as well. He's out another week at least. Marcus Smart had been injured now for about a week as well. You've got a team that, again, I picked to be one of the top teams in the West, but they haven't been complete now in 2 years for a matter of different reasons. And when you have this young team, when you're like, okay, you got Triple J, Desmond Bain, Ja Morant, you got your big three, they're number 2 in the West 2 years in a row. They're competing against the Warriors. They're competing against the Lakers. Their window is open. It's an example of how finicky those contention and title windows can be. Because if this lingers on for a while, now we're going to be going on 3 years since this team has been healthy and whole. and competing for where they want to get to. And when you're talking about teams where all three of these players, max players, right? All three of these players young, but they're not going to be young forever. You can't waste, I don't want to say waste, but you can't miss out on opportunities like this. So a whole slew of injuries that we could get into, and we'll get into them more. There's some others that disappointed me, but number one on my list, I have to say that, because I hate to see it when they were just getting back to, hey, we're back and we're trying to reestablish ourselves.
100% feel you on that. Also, with Ja's injury, the type of injury is one I feel like it's going to take some time. Like football, basketball uses a lot of your hips. There's a lot of torque, not twerking, torque.
Calm down.
What's on your mind?
Calm
What's on your
down.
mind, fam? What's on your mind,
Listen,
cuz? What's on your
listen,
mind,
man.
cuz?
We're recording late. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to bed.
Word? That's the choice of words you want to go with that?
Listen. Y'all forgive my little missteps. But there's a lot of torque involved in that part of your body. And to hear anybody go down with anything hip related, it's almost akin to a back injury. Just like you use your back for everything. When it comes to the sport of basketball, your hips are really very vital. So
Yeah.
for me, of course, with the progress they've made, and it's like another one, that type of injury for me is very concerning. All right, Lou, what's concerning you, brother? What injury has
Man.
you pausing?
I think just like Evan saying, another obvious one is Chet. I've been high on Chet this season. Before to be somebody who was in contention for most improved, and so on. To have him go down is definitely a big blow to OKC, a team that has been last season. We see them for most of the season be number one. Now and also, this season coming out the gate looking strong, looking like they have some solid cohesion with the pieces that they've already had and the pieces that they've added. And then, really expecting Chet to really take it to the next level this season. And, again, walking double double. So missing him on the floor is going to be huge. Having him out 8 to 10 weeks, and that's just for them to reevaluate him, right? That's going to definitely be something that is going to. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to say it's a setback, but it's something of serious concern, especially as Chet has come out this season really playing with a vengeance, trying to rival, the guy that beat him out for Rookie of the Year in Wembyana. So definitely a concern, and to see what OKC is going to be able to do, how they're going to be able to take their other pieces and to be able to supplement that. And hopefully he'll be able to, at minimum, come in the back half of the season, back, integrated into this team. But yeah, for him to be out to 10 weeks for this injury is a bit concerning, and I feel bad for OKC because they come out the gate pretty strong here. 10-2. Currently, I think they're number 2 behind the Phoenix Suns. We'll see how long that lasts, but that's another conversation. But yeah, I would like to see, hopefully, if they can still maintain themselves in the top 4, and anticipating his return. Hopefully, he can return this season. Then it'll be great to see.
Yeah, that chat one was definitely a huge one. Given the momentum that they have, we definitely lauded them along with the Boston Celtics as one of the teams that are coming out strong, handling business, not fearing anybody, and looking honestly quite invincible. And for them to take that blow with Chet, as amazing as he was last year, you could see he's improved as well too. So you hate to really see that. That one really hurt me. As much as I joke on him and everything like that compared to Wemby, but he's still a great player and he has a lot of potential. So to see that happen, hopefully, given that he's young, he can bounce back, and
Yeah.
that OKC doesn't, to me, seem like they'll fall too far in the standings. It's not like a Joel situation with the Sixers where last year he was out and they're fighting for the play-in. I don't see that happening necessarily, but yet and still, I also don't see them moving far in the postseason if Chet is not 100%.
Exactly.
To use
Let-
the go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, I want to see if Hartenstein is going to earn his money here.
There
That's
you go.
that's what I was about to mention, because it's fortunate and unfortunate at the same time. Fortunate they do have Hartenstein coming back, but it's like you haven't even gotten to see the front court that you were hoping to have.
Exactly.
And now it's going to
Exactly.
be months at best before you're able to see it put together. So as strong as they've been out the gate, it's like, okay, we still don't know what the full complement of this team is, and they built this team to more further withstand the postseason based on what
Exactly.
we went through last year. So
Yep.
yeah, you hope they come back strong. It speaks to the talent that's in the West, as a whole, that
Yep.
we're looking at these two teams, because it's like, okay, we see how it's going in the West right now compared to how it's going in the East right now, and so many teams are off to strong starts. You can't give up games like this, right? Due to injury, you could fall back pretty quickly. So to see these injuries, especially for these two young teams that are looking to contend at this early in this season, you hope there's enough time for them to get by it, but you hate that it derails momentum from the beginning.
100%. Like Charles Barkley says, Chet's a little light in the cakes. He needs to he needs to build up, man.
So between you, your twerking comment, and Trump, never mind.
Listen, man. I got cakes on my mind, man.
Hans, okay, late night Hans.
After hours, baby.
Hey, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you today, man?
This is y'all fault. Y'all wanted to record this late. That's on y'all, okay? That is on y'all. Consequences of your actions. All right.
Hans after dark, y'all. Hans after dark.
Listen,
Yo, man.
Christian,
I was about to take a trip to Magic City real quick, man.
Hey,
Atlanta's
in
live
post
and well,
production,
baby.
man, put the big booty girls in the video, man. Post production, put it in that square.
Yeah. Everybody be asking me about cinnamon in about 2.5.
You already know. No, I know
Listen,
how
man,
you get that.
We're in rare form. All right, y'all. To round out this topic, I'm gonna be like Ev. There's two injuries that give me pause. One is more of a "I told you so," and it continues to confirm my point of the dumpster fire that the Pelicans are. Zion is out.
I was waiting for this one.
So
fake injury. What's up, Mr. Mamba?
What
Can't
did we
hear you.
just say? We told you to not be a freak anymore, and here you go saying dump after we just had that. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with your mind?
Dumpster, bro. It's not like he said dumpster truck.
Right.
Dump truck out. I'm just so confused.
Hey, all right. I'm gonna leave it alone. But Hans, I know you've been waiting on the Zion one, man. I can't wait to hear this one. Come on, man.
Nah, there's not much to say, man. Like, where's the Oprah gif, man? Like, where's the Oprah gif? That's all I'm saying, man. Listen, how much more? Blow it up. Get rid of everything. Start over. Get in the sweepstakes for the Duke player. What's his name again? It is
Cooper
Flag. Cooper Flag.
Get in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, man. Go ahead, sell out. Get rid of everybody, man.
I heard somebody ask I think that day or so ago, how do you get chronic hamstrings? Like, I've never heard so many hamstring pulls and so many injuries. All you have to do is hydrate and stretch.
I got a lot
you
of
would
jokes.
think he's a running back, but he's not.
Well, it makes it too
backs have this
easy.
many injuries.
It makes it too easy to not even make the joke, but make the assumption that you're too heavy for your legs, and that your legs.
But he really looked like a monster. Like, let's be real. He looked like a monster. Something straight out of Space Jam. Not even trying to be funny. He built like a monster. Okay, he does. he's not proper for his frame, and not just for his also for his style of play. You can't be that explosive if you're not taking care of your body, right? At some point, something is going to get pulled, um, thrown out of whack because you're not doing the necessary work. Now we've seen other players who've put on weight, been strong, be able to have a large stature. But prime example, like you make an example of football. Look at these guys like Derrick Henrys and so on, right? These guys who are bigger in stature, but they take care of their bodies in such to make sure that their body can perform for their type of game.
But
Zion clearly hasn't done that.
it's funny you say that because I was watching, I think it was Twitter or IG, I can't remember. But anyway, it was a PT, a physical therapist, and they were highlighting basically the difference between like functional strength workouts
Yeah.
versus just bulking up on the muscle.
Yep.
And I wonder if he lacks that. I wonder if it's something where, like you said, Lou, he doesn't have enough of the functional strength needed in his lower body to really sustain a full season of basketball, of NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Because I don't think his frame is necessarily bad. We've seen people like him be successful, right, in the NBA. We've seen the Charles Barkleys and such. We've seen the Sean Kemps. We've seen players
Big Baby
with his
Davis, tractor trailer.
we've seen players with his athleticism and his build be successful and not have the bad luck of injuries. I wonder if he's really not training his muscles properly. And also, too, when you come down in weight, I guess I'm questioning his training staff, because when you come down in weight, is he doing that properly as well, too?
Exactly.
Well,
And also strengthening those those particular muscles that you mean, because again, y'all who been at the gym, or sometimes you work out, whether it's come from a run or something, you're like, oh, I'm hurting in places I didn't even know could hurt. You know what I mean? Because all of those other muscles or supplemental ones to the larger muscle groups are important for your functionality. We seen when he talked about how Jordan trained in The Last Dance, baseball versus basketball, right? How his trainer was like, okay, we have to change certain things so you could be able to have these type of functional strength for this sport, as opposed to what you were training for prior in terms of baseball. So yeah, no, I mean, and one thing I'm questioning, we can question his training staff, but also we can question his work ethic, right? His commitment to actually training in that way, because we know that the Pelicans have put a significant amount of investment to him. So I'm sure they're giving him the best care, the best nutritionist, the best training staff, and so on. Is he actually bought into maintaining that regimen like he's supposed to?
Can I just make an observation? I think that a lot of these NBA players are getting injured nowadays because they're not practicing as hard as they used to. So they're not kind of like
Agent
kind of
Agent
like
Zero said it.
kind of like
Gilbert Arenas said it.
kind of like football, right? Where these players just don't feel right until they hit. And nowadays in NBA culture, like it's just a lot of shoot around, a lot of just film work, a lot of film study. It's not a lot of actually running, doing 2 days, doing doing a real training camp. Like, so these soft tissue injuries are accumulating because their body's not used to going full speed, in an NBA game, because they're not doing it in practice. So they're just hurting themselves because their body's not used to going that fast, going that hard.
Or in the
like
offseason.
it's like going from 0 to 100 3 times a week versus staying almost every day at least 50 or 60 and then going 100 in game time. Like, yeah, they're doing all these other things, but or supposed to be doing all these other things. Just stretching and all the new advanced stuff, but nothing replicates getting on the court. And I mean, when you think about it, we know that just from Hans started off by telling the story of our weekend, and the basketball that went. I'm not gonna say it went good, it went bad, but it went. But part of that is from
Oh, I mean,
nothing.
a time was had. I had a
Yeah,
good time.
I
I
had a
mean,
great time. I had a
we
great
all had a
time.
good time. Yeah,
I'm
we all
not.
had
I'm
a
not
great
saying.
time.
I'm not saying my basketball was good, but the camaraderie was great. But what I'm saying is, nothing duplicates, nothing replicates actually getting on the court playing basketball, right? And when you're not on the court actually going up and down hard for a period of time on a regular basis, your body feels like you just went through a war when you do it only, every once in a while. So like you said, if y'all are, or if these players are only really, really balling 3 times a week, right? Versus getting in there every day and keeping the muscles basketball fresh. Yeah, I can see the potential for that happening. It sounds like you wouldn't think that they're world class athletes, but it is possible.
I mean, look, it's not just an NBA issue. We're seeing it all the way down through, in AAU. Based on how they're also training, these guys, they're not really going hard in terms of practice. Especially on the high profile kids, the Cayenne Anthony's and so on. You're hearing about how they really just scrimmaging, and then just going in and playing on the weekend. Going through their tournaments instead of actually going through. I mean, all of us played ball at a particular level, at minimum high school. Coaches would drill you. You got to work hard, doing all your drills, and make sure that you at minimum your cardio, your body was used to going hard for 48 minutes. And we're seeing that kind of change now, from younger all the way up to the pros.
Last thing I say after the buzzer, you see that young kid getting it in on the blacktop in our background now. These folks ain't doing that anymore. Okay, they're not learning how to fall. This kid's gonna be something in life right there. What you know?
Bring back street ball, baby.
Exactly.
Facts. All right, guys, let's move on to the next segment. So, are you guys believers now? Are we believers on how these teams are shaping up, winners and losers? Are we believers? And I'll start off with the most obvious one everybody's been talking about. Let's just get them out the way. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Hey,
And no, LeBron's not back. The Cleveland Cavaliers, y'all. I'm actually a little concerned. I'll start off with this. They did have a weak schedule at first, but now they've actually played some teams of substance and won. And they're currently top of the East, 13-0. I am concerned. Here's why I'm concerned. Similar to what happened with Golden State when the Cleveland Cavaliers beat them, when they beat the Bulls record, right? How much energy now? I guess where's the shift from, hey, we're in a good momentum to, oh man, let's see how much we can keep this up, and it ends up hurting us. That's my concern with them. Like, are we now playing just to see how far we can get with this record? Similar to the Tracy McGrady Houston Rockets when they went 22-0 in the middle of the season as well. It's like, are we just trying to play the best basketball, or are we just trying to keep this record? That's my concern. Without that, though, I do think they're a legit team. I think that they'll be a playoff team in the East. I don't think they'll be a play-in. I think they will be. I just don't see them really making it to the Eastern Conference Finals per se, but I definitely do see them making it deep in the playoffs just off the strength of what I'm seeing right now, especially with Garland being back 100%, playing well, Allen guarding the rim as well, too. We've seen some improvement offensively from Mobley as well. So I like what I'm seeing, but I am scared, y'all. I feel like they're playing for this record, and we've seen this before. I'll leave it there. I'll start out with you, Lou. What are you seeing? Who are you believing? Who are you not believing in, man, with these records?
look, to tack on what you're saying with Cavaliers, here's why I get your concern, but why I can sit back and be like, I might be bought in. What did we talk about last year? What can Allen and Mobley coexist? We're starting to really see it, right? We're starting to really see it, and we're like, okay, and if they can really make that happen again, how many teams, not just in the Eastern Conference but in the NBA, have a front court that can operate like that with these two guys? So, we're still fairly, early into the season. Really want to see it, and I'm not mad at them riding the wave. See how far you can take it. Do I think they're a deep playoff threat? Not sure, but definitely from what we're seeing right now, playoff contender. So we're talking about winners. Also, Ev, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but FanDuel has a prop up for do the Cavs lose this season? I think it's plus 10,000 right now. So a dollar gets you 10 beans. Does it? Does it? I've spent dollars on less, on worse rather. But yeah, I think one and I'm pretty sure you're gonna elaborate on this one more. But the Bucks, the Bucks might just be washed. They may have to just close up shop, bro. How they looking this season, man? They looking like, hey, they not far from the Pelicans, and the reason why I say that is because of how for the caliber of players you have, and the level of play that we're seeing here. I don't think this experiment really worked, right? We gave them some grades last season. This season, at least off the gate, you would hope, especially what they were showing in off season with Dame. Now we're seeing some injuries continuously creeping in, and I'm sure we'll get into this in terms of Giannis comments. It's not looking like it, man. So early on, Milwaukee looks like they're in trouble. If they don't turn it around, at least getting into the Christmas break, they're definitely going to have to seriously consider what they're going to do for the trade deadline, right? And how they're either going to find a way to patch this team up and turn the ship around, or B, blow it up. It doesn't help that they have two coaches who on their staff who historically have been realistically poor, with Doc Rivers and as our producer Pop Mom in the back affectionately loves to call him Darvin Scam. It's really looking like it. So there we go. Take him in. Go ahead, Pop Mama. Jump in, baby. It's like somebody fought it, bro. It's foul smell over there, bro. They gotta fix that. Blow it up. Blow it up. Right now, how it's looking, blow it up. It's not looking good at all.
So I'm gonna tie 3 themes together here. Hopefully I navigate this well when you do it. We talk about the Cleveland Cavs. We talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. You bring up Darvin Ham. You look at Darvin Ham, fired from the Lakers. They bring in JJ Redick. The team looks more cohesive. The team is playing more like the pieces on the team should be playing. The team itself instills more confidence. You're seeing the same thing in Cleveland right now. They get rid of JB Bickerstaff, which our take on that team was it didn't matter what they did in the regular season. They didn't instill any confidence in the playoffs. It looked like Allen and Mobley couldn't coexist together. It looked like Mobley was somewhat stagnating in his development from what we thought he could potentially be coming out of college. It looked like Mitchell and Garland were struggling to coexist. Then you bring in Kenny Atkinson, a coach who, from his New Jersey time, folks thought got a raw deal, got the most out of his players in that stint, who then spent a few years in Golden State, picking up some best practices there. And now in Cleveland, you have a team that looks like it's maximizing the sum of its parts. It's playing its most cohesive basketball. Now, I did have a stretch in the middle of last season, but the way it looks now, that stretch last year was part of that time. It was Garland and Mobley, while Allen and Mitchell was out, and the other time it was like Allen and Mitchell were in while Mobley and Garland was out. Now you got a stretch where all 4 of them are healthy and playing together. Garland looks like he's recovered from the struggles he's had last year. Mobley looks stronger than he's looked the last 3 years. Mitchell's scoring is actually down to the lowest it's been since his rookie season, but it doesn't look like he's playing worse, that he's struggling more. It just looks like he's fitting into a system even more. They're getting good effort, energy out of Dean Wade, out of Karis LeVert. They're actually getting plus production from that 3 spot in the lineup. So much to that Ham to JJ comparison, I hate to do it to JB Bickerstaff because he's got Detroit looking competitive, trying hard, but it does look so far that coaching upgrade to Atkinson has instilled belief in this team that it looked like they didn't have in themselves at times previously. So when you look at the outlook of this team, as a if you're a fan of a team in the East, you're a little more concerned because this team has now gone through a couple years of disappointment, and it's almost like they've unlocked beliefs in themselves that they didn't have before. So this looks more substantive than I would have said in seasons past when they've had any type of similar runs. As for Milwaukee, I don't want to just simply call it Doc Rivers because it's more than just Doc Rivers. But when you fire a championship winning coach and a 30-13 coach, and you bring in a fired coach that was on the beach golfing, calling games on the West Coast only once a week and enjoying his life, and you bring him to the great state of Milwaukee, the great red state of Milwaukee, my bad. You know, you kind of signing yourself up for the disappointment that you're seeing right now. And it's spilling out in the comments that Giannis is making. And I don't think any of those comments are unintentional because he's a very intentional person.
I'm going to agree with you guys on the Bucks. It's not looking good. They're not turning the corner like everybody would expect them to. And the fact of the matter is, Middleton being injured is not enough of an excuse. Doc Rivers' history of falling short is not enough to be an excuse. At some point, the ball is round, the court is 94 feet long, the hoop is 10 foot high. Go out there and ball. At some point, there has to be that pride. And I'm all for Giannis's comments of him saying that not everybody's going out there to compete. And if you're not going out there to compete, what are you doing here? I'm all for that because I think Giannis understands the window. The window is short. The window is short. And when you have an opportunity to get to a championship level and to contend to with a championship team, you take full advantage of that. And he's seeing that this looks like it's an opportunity that's about to be squandered. So I've seen takes of him basically people calling him childish, and not just because of the whole Jaylen Brown thing. Yes, that was childish, but just him being vocal and saying that that's childish. No, like at the end of the day, he's the leader on that team. He's the leader on that team. And he has the influence. So he has to put the pressure on his teammates and the front office. Like, we got to do something different because this is not it. This is not it.
Deion Waiters said there's some teams that could use him right now.
Listen, man, and I'd hate for that to happen to the Bucks franchise. You feel me? I'd hate for that to happen, but yo, y'all got to do something, bro.
And that talk's going to continue too. And I think I think it's Giannis. One thing I say about Giannis, and he's learned it from the playbooks of some superstars that have preceded him. He keeps the pressure on his franchise to deliver. Now, sometimes to a fault. I think he's in a situation right now where he has put. I don't even know what's coming.
I'm so sick of Bob Baba, bro. I gotta read this. Breaking
Hey
news
yo,
from
oh no, let that run back so you can read it from the. You a sick individual.
breaking news from the Pod Mamba. The Lakers offer Vando, Rui, Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish, 2 first-round picks, and the Clippers' old Raptor selfies for Giannis. Also, y'all offer in your in-season championship banner as well too. Throw that in there. Throw everything in there.
The inaugural.
The inaugural.
The inaugural in-season.
But yeah, those
tour.
those Giannis rumors are only going to keep picking up, and even more stories are going to get leaked, and
You're gonna end up in Miami with Pat, yo. Watch.
Listen.
Tyler Hero, man.
Listen, man. Jimmy and Giannis. I'm with it. Jimmy, Bam,
Hey.
Giannis. I'm with
I
that.
know
Miami needs an infusion.
Bam's coming back if Giannis gets traded.
Listen. Also, what's up with Spo? You saw what happened, man? With the timeout, losing that game.
Oh, happens to the best of them, man.
Nah, man. What's going on with Miami, man? What's going on? There's grumblings of this being Jimmy's last year. Spo's calling phantom Chris Webber timeouts.
Somebody got to check his or his family's FanDuel account. That's all.
Chris Webber is vindicated.
He's still not vindicated. That was a championship, bro.
That cost him a check.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, man.
But we haven't.
You lost a chip and Tyra Banks. Boot them out of here.
That did happen. Yes, that did happen. We haven't spent a lot of time on Miami this season, but they're a stale team. They're a team
they need
that
to shake
never had. Yeah, they've never had the talent. And honestly, they're going on 10 years of this. They haven't had the talent to compete.
They were just in the finals a couple years ago. We're calling them
overachieving. They were overachieving when they were in the finals.
That's hella overachieving, though.
It's still not. We can't fault them for that. They can't put them no slack for that.
I don't fault them.
But
for that.
no, what I'm saying, what it is they're riding that in terms of why, in terms of if they never got there, Evan State would be even more, prevalent, right? But because they have that, it's it's like when Budenholzer got out that first round and they ended up winning the chip. Because we knew had they lost to the Nets that first round, Budenholzer was out of here. And they almost lost to the Nets.
But to me, what I'm hearing is even with that example, it tells you culture only gets you so far. I think that's what it is. You still need talent behind that culture.
Agreed.
Culture only gets you so far. And
but that's what I'm saying. I guess for me, they don't really have the talent. What talent do they really have?
That's what I'm saying. I think culture, them, even with the Bucks, and we can even go with San Antonio, right? Like culture only gets you so far. If you don't have the talent behind that culture, you're not gonna get it. And I think that's Miami's problem. They don't have enough talent behind that culture. Like at the end of the day, Hero hasn't been Hero hasn't been healthy enough. We can't call him that. Bam is only one drop step away from being a big man. He still can't find that drop step. So that leaves you with Jimmy. And then you had a hobbled Lowry who's still looking like he's in LA Fitness. Like you need talent. Like
and I knew you were about to do that. And
I know Hans broke it down. Ran through the whole start.
You saw that, right? They had done a good job of uncovering gems in their developmental system, but even that isn't sustainable, So now the players that they developed, Pod Mamba's favorite, Gabe Vincent, your Max Struces, get 2.5 good series out of Caleb Martin's.
I'm about to say Martin. Yep.
Even Jaquez is beginning to his season, right? Although I put him in a separate category because he's still young and developing.
Yeah.
But these diamond in the rough players that they found that were able to I don't want to say happy to be there, but because of their background, Duncan Robinson kind of started it. They were able to embody that Heat culture mentality to go along with Jimmy and Bam. Now those players aren't there anymore. You haven't found the new ones to take their place, and we argue this all the time. Playoff Jimmy, all right, borderline top 10 player. Everyday Jimmy, we not talking about a top 10 player. We're not talking about a top 20 player in Bam Adebayo. So, I mean, if you're being honest, the talent itself on talent alone is not there. When the culture isn't carrying it as it's been, you got a stale team. That's just where it's at right now.
No, I mean I agree, man. And not only that, you like the Patriots did for a very long time, right? You can get all these guys that can fit into the system. You can maximize their ability, but they really need to have that guy or two of them guys to be really the ones that you put these pieces are put around, and it feels like these pieces are just pieces, but there's nothing that they're actually being put around to really move them up to that next level.
I
Yeah,
agree.
man. Yeah, I agree. There's certain teams when they're competitive, the league is on fire, right? The Knicks, the Celtics, those guys in the purple and gold over there, and
Here you go.
Miami. When those teams are doing well, the league is
Wow.
different.
Not even Chicago? Wow, that's
Whoa,
crazy.
hold on. Chicago as well. Relax. But you have your legacy teams. When certain teams in the league are doing well, the league's happy. It's a good place. We love to see it. So to see a historic,
They're not a HBCU, huh? It's okay.
they are historic, a historically competitive team just looks
Hey, yo,
a
Ev.
shell of itself. I don't know. But anyway, we got to move on. All right, y'all. We have begun this week the NBA Cup. It has begun. It is here. Last year was a success. We had competitive basketball in November. People were tuning in. We were seeing teams. It was highlighted really by the birth of the Pacers, Halliburton taking that over. The Lakers, LeBron, AD, they took it serious. Even with Darvin, you can't take that away from him, Christian, by the way. He got y'all that chip. So he can't.
I did hire a championship winning coach.
He got
Right.
yo. I mean,
It's probably why Doc
the
Rivers hired him. Two
the
championship
NBA
winning
Cup
coaches.
could be seen. What do we call it? We call it the what? The Gary?
Go ahead, Pop Baba.
I will
The
not give
Gary?
Darvin Scam any credit for the players actually trying to win $500,000 for their teammates.
The Gary? You're not giving no no love for the Gary.
How many championship winning coaches have the Lakers fired in their history? Or is that the only one?
Just saying, man.
Still
He got
left.
y'all a chip, and y'all got
Pat
rid of
left.
him.
Tell you, man.
That's
Bad karma.
what I'm
Bad
saying.
karma.
Go ahead. You were saying something, F?
I was just saying, bad karma.
But the NBA Cup is here, y'all. So I want to throw this out there. The Lakers winning it and going for it, I think, was a good message. LeBron and his caliber taking it seriously. I wish they took the All-Star game this seriously. But anyway, that's my grievance. We'll discuss that later. Who do you guys think is going for it this year? Which team do you see really grabbing this cup by the horns and really going all out for it and taking it? What's going to be the storyline on this NBA Cup? Those could be two different questions. So go ahead and answer it as you see fit. I'll start off with you, Lou. Who's taking it seriously? Who's going for it?
I'm gonna be real. It's the team last year who we compared to Indiana and saying that one should have been in the place of the other. I think Orlando's really gonna go make a push for it this year. I think Orlando, especially with Paolo coming in, really growing as a player with a chip on his shoulder, and also Orlando just being a team that quietly is creeping up. You know what I mean? We had better expectations from them last year. I see where they are this year, currently third. Paulo's giving us 28-6. So like, you know what I mean? Like I'm 28 and 29 and almost 9 actually. So it's like he's almost a walking double double. I think Paulo's really stepping in right now as the leader of the team. I know he's hurt right now, but I think that Orlando still may have enough to be able to. That's the team that I'm expecting to try to really make a push for this cup. I think if there's a team that it would mean a lot to, I think it's that team. As a young team that's really starting to try to make some noise in the league, just like Indiana was last year. Everybody else, I don't necessarily see. I mean, Cleveland is another one that we could talk about with their playing well. I think that would give them a good boost for the season, especially since right now, I mean, they're perfect so far. It would definitely give them a great boost going in to finish this first half of the season, and you know what they're looking like. Because I mean, even as the team is constructed, I still don't see them as a championship team. But you know, also significant improvement from last year. So my number one would be Orlando, and Cleveland is definitely a close second, or like a 1B to a 1A.
Who you got, Ev?
You know, I'm bad at giving a lot of answers for a specific question. So I'll start off with who I don't think is going for it. And I don't want to play
Lord.
the
He
results.
would
But
take the longest route.
I am, because
He
no,
would
this
take
is
the
actually
longest route.
this is actually the shortest route. I
Oh,
think the
Lord
Celtics are not
Jesus.
going for it, and I'm not just saying it because they lost the first game of the tournament. I think
They lost
that
to the Hawks.
they did lose to the Hawks, who, by
That's
the
the
way,
kryptonite.
it is. It is. I think that there are a lot of young teams that could use this NBA Cup as a springboard of developmental success, right? You look at a team like the Spurs. Wouldn't Wemby love
They're never gonna
to?
win it, bro. Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Stop it.
I'm answering the questions of teams that would go all out for it. I'm not
They're
saying
supposed to be
teams.
realistic ones that could actually win it, though. I don't talk about. It's
I mean,
great hypothetically. Oh, I could. Yeah, I mean, come on.
You don't think
Come
the Spurs could win it?
No,
it's
it's not
it's
enough games.
it's winning five games in a
What
knockout
group?
round.
Who's in their group? Go ahead. Talk. Let me look this up. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I mean, so I mean, if you're talking teams, you know, I'm trying not to pick my team because obviously that's who I think could win it. But I bring up the Knicks every week. You know, I'm trying to do this show responsibly, okay? And then I go another route.
But
Yeah,
no, actually, that
nah,
would be a great take
tell
because
me how
your
you
team,
really
of
feel.
all
Tell me,
teams, that is one it would actually really matter to.
and
Nah,
you know we're
Lou's
gonna
right.
play.
They're in a hard group.
Well, I mean, you
The
know we're
Spurs are
Like,
in
gonna
a
come on,
play.
hard
bro.
group.
Exactly. So that's why I'd even address them. Would love to see it, but yo, the Knicks actually, if anybody, I was hoping you would say the Knicks because
I mean, you know, I say
then
the Knicks. They're my answer every week.
the
Now.
one time for the Knicks to be the right answer, you go astray.
I mean,
Spike Lee is wagging his finger at you right now,
he's
bro.
not, man. I ain't want to jinx us. I picked this last year to win it. Okay, it was but I'll
Nah,
say
check your
this
FanDuel
because
account.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a tough question for me, Hines. What I hope is that teams take it as serious as it felt like they did last year. I'll say that. And through night one, we had some great games. That Golden State game, which you know a week later still ticking. We'll get to them. Um, you know the Golden State win, of course. Like I said, the Hawks win. The Knicks looking dominant, and Embiid's return. Philly not looking good at all. Um, it looked like teams in night one were taking it serious. And for me, honestly, that's the big thing for me. Will teams continue to take this in-season tournament NBA Cup seriously so that it's not a gimmick, so that it can be legitimized, right? Can they build off the success of last year when it was a successful product last year? Can it become a mainstay product? That's my thing.
Well, you know who's taking it seriously? The Portland Trailblazers, because we're giving the Minnesota Timberwolves fits
I
right now.
saw. Listen.
Shaden's back, baby. Shaden's
Talk
back.
about it.
Talk
Shaden's
about
back,
it.
man.
Team, man.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man.
Yes,
Shaden's
sir.
back. That's all I'm saying, man.
Tell them get 3
Welcome back,
steppers in your
Shaden. We
life.
missed you because out here struggling, and we're injured.
Can we get
No
an applause
Ayton,
for
no
Shaden?
Simons. Man,
Can we get an applause for Shaden?
Listen, man, we out here. Pop Mama's a hater. It's okay. So listen, Pop Mama's a hater. My take on the in-season tournament, I agree. I think it is definitely a proving ground for the younger teams, which I think is also great for the NBA. So I'm excited for it. My team that I think is going to come out and make a point is actually one of Lou's favorite team, the OKC Thunder. I think the OKC Thunder are going to use this to kind of like let everybody know that, hey, we're here, we're gonna make it, and that we're not playing around. I think they're gonna use this as basically as a proving ground. Now, the other team I did think was gonna do it, but I'm concerned now because of injury, was the Memphis Grizzlies. I was expecting Ja to show out, let y'all know, hey, 12's back. But with this injury, I am a little concerned to see what's going to happen. But I really think OKC's here, and they're going to show out during this in-season tournament.
Most definitely.
I just want to say real quick. I know I'm not supposed to mention it. I'm going to mention it. Okay, bad things happen when you say nice things about the Portland Trailblazers. That's all I have for the show.
I'm sick of y'all. That's why. I'm sick of y'all. That's why bad things happen. Well, listen, shout out to my squad, baby.
What happened this time?
Hans's Wi-Fi is just broken as himself.
Wow, really? It's as delusional as I am.
Wow.
That
Whatever.
Wi-Fi is just as hurt as its owner.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
All right, Hans. I could make some editorial magic and post edit, so don't worry about it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Work your magic. That's why we pay you the big money.
Yes, sir.
Why do they
Hold
have?
on. What? You pay me what?
Listen, man. Listen.
I'm
I
so
made you big money,
confused.
man. Listen, man.
Most
I'm so
heavily
confused.
compensated producer in the game.
Come on
Listen,
now.
man.
Pie
That's why you all up in the
Mamba.
videos. You know
Come
what
on
I'm
now.
saying?
You know,
This
Come
is
on
why.
now.
This is why I don't focus on our pod as much as my own work, because
100 level pie Mamba. Now let's go.
Come on, man. We know the vibes. We know the
Come on,
vibes.
man. That's why you out here LA living off this big fat check, man. Listen.
CC Mamba, all right?
That's right. Come on, man. Going to
man.
courtside, going to field, out here on the field with the Rams games because you got money, man.
Man, I know.
now you're putting my business out there. What's going on?
Listen, man.
I'm pretty sure you
Listen,
posted
man,
on
I'm
social
just
media
saying.
that you was dapping up Matthew Stafford.
Listen,
and
not
that.
all our
It's
listeners
good.
follow me. I'm on a private Instagram page. All right, sir.
If you want to see better footage of Rams games than Fox themselves show you,
Talk about it.
where can they reach you at, Pie Mamba?
You can follow me at Christian G17 on Blue Sky, because now I'm on Blue Sky over Twitter now. So just check me out over there.
Look at him, man. Look
What's
at him.
blue sky?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it, Hans. It's for the cool
3 and 3
kids, all right?
podcast.
That's not like the other side of Truth Social right there. I don't know. I don't know what Pie
3 and 3
Mamba's
podcast will be making our debut there soon.
Blue Sky
And
is the new like Twitter
Sounds like a
alternate.
new drug.
The new Twitter alternate
Wow.
social media.
That was Blue
platform.
Magic, Hans. That was Blue
Oh,
Magic.
my bad. My bad.
It was created by Twitter's old CEO
Jack
Yeah.
Dorsey. Yeah.
Yeah. It's his. He
Yeah.
pretty much made a new Twitter and called it Blue
Yep.
Sky.
Yep.
He,
It's cool, man. And if you want to check him out on his Finsta, never mind. Nah.
Okay.
You can check out Lou at his OnlyFans at
Oh wow.
at Trueville
Oh, wow.
at Trueville at OnlyFans.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Support my brother.
What it is,
Hey,
yo.
man.
What's up?
Remind us
So,
where
hey.
to find you, so give us throw out your Ustream info real quick, okay?
Hey man, we out here. We out here. That's what Blue Sky sounded like. It
Hey,
sounded
yo,
like
chill.
Oh,
Like
it
Blue
sounded like
Flame?
some adult content. Blue
Blue Flame?
Flame, Blue Sky.
Come
all my
on now.
colleagues out here side hustling. All right, that's
Hey man, we
that's
gotta
why
make
they
ends
asked. We
meet.
gotta get
Hey,
this.
man.
Gotta
Hey,
get this
I hear
recorded
that.
quickly tonight. I see you. I see you guys.
Listen, guys, let's get this podcast back on track. I do apologize. Let's get back on track. Any last thoughts on the in-season tournament? Anybody who is going to shock the league in this in-season tournament? Any last comments before we wrap up? The show's shot. We're done.
Nah, man. I think you
Christian talking about the
rounded it
blue
out, man.
flame. We out here.
I know, right? Crazy. Now you rounded it out with your other thoughts, man. Even just quickly, with talking about the Memphis Grizzly. That was I'm sure Evan also had the same thoughts. Some teams that we were expecting to really show out. It's unfortunate to have injuries at this point, especially I'm sure these players that were injured last year were more than itching to come and prove themselves at minimum during this cup. So, but I still think it's going to be competitive and looking forward to seeing it.
Last thing real quick. Shout out to the Bulls, man. Levine's backdrop 31, baby. Listen.
Let's go.
Narrow wing against the Knicks, man.
Let's go.
Listen. He's on my fantasy, so I needed him to come back. But listen, man. Shout out to Levine.
You know what? I'll take the fake love. It's all good.
Hey man, it's real love. It's real love. Okay, winning cures all. My bad, Ev. I mean no Nick slander. No Nick slander.
Thank you.
I'm
It's not
I'm
Nick slander.
going-
It's Bulls
that's not where I'm
praise.
going. That's not where I'm going.
It's not Nick slander. It's Bulls praise.
Just one more
Okay.
shout out before we wrap it up. Wemby dropped 50 tonight.
Yes.
Pretty wild.
Yes.
Who's gonna be in MVP talks this year?
No.
Why?
I'm sorry. But Giannis dropped 59.
Oh.
Giannis
Somebody else
dropped
is MVP. You know what? And back to your MVP prediction. Okay, Hans.
59 and 14.
If you're gonna talk, back it up. I like it.
Listen. No Dame, no problem. I mean, it was against the Detroit Pistons. But anyway. Dude dropped 59.
Cade can't catch a break, huh?
Oh man, I forgot to mention it. We got to wrap up.
Yeah.
But didn't Joker drop a crazy number this past week too? Wasn't it like 49?
45, 15,
Yeah.
10 type triple double.
Wild.
Listen, I like to talk good about teams or bad about teams because as soon as we talk bad about them, they do good, and as soon as we talk good about them, they do bad. So shout out to the Nuggets. Before we go, shout out to our boy Evans. He called us out when he caught our first week pod about the Nuggets looking bad, Westbrook looking bad. And I don't think they've lost since. So, shout out.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. That is our time. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Please check us out on our social media as the 3-on-3 podcast. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. What's up, guys? Thank you for listening to the 3-on-3 podcast. Please be sure to give the episode a thumbs up if you loved it. Hit that subscribe button. And last but not least, hit that bell. So that way you're notified every time we drop a new episode. Hit us up on our social media, guys. You can find us at the 3-on-3 podcast on IG and Twitter. If you want to give us any ideas or suggestions, shoot us an email at the 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys next time.